Make sure it starts straight before we go gunning it in there. And it sometimes can be a little tricky to get them lined up because there's a groove on that shaft that lines up perfectly with the bolt hole. That way the bolt hole goes in that groove and holds it in place from being able to move up or down. So you have to have the steering shaft installed correctly on the stub coming out of the pinion, so that way the bolt hole lines up right here. And pretty much once you get it through, your bolt hole is lined up. It can't go through without it being lined up. But always still a good idea to start everything by hand. Make sure it's threading in smoothly. That's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and zip it down with the gun and then we'll hit the torque wrench on it. Okay. All right, so you can find the torque spec on this guy under your power steering system, torque specifications. Scroll down until you get to your steering column shaft to steering gear bolt, and we've got 35 foot-pounds on that guy. Now sometimes these can be difficult to torque because when you're trying to turn it with a wrench or a ratchet, it'll make your steering coupler twist on you and pop your socket off. So if you hold with one hand, like right here, see if I can do this, film it at the same time. If you hold this wheel from turning, it'll keep that steering shaft from turning also. You can go ahead and get the torque going. All right, so now that we got our lower shaft on and torqued down, if I turn these wheels back to the pretty much straight position where they started out, we can go ahead and let her back down and get the top hooked back up. All right, now in theory, since we didn't have anything moved from the original position, our top steering coupler should line right up here. And as you can see, didn't even have to wiggle it, lined right up. Got some blue Loctite on the threads on the steering shaft, so we can go ahead and run this thing down and then get her torqued. And 35 foot-pounds on this upper bolt also. It's the same on all of the pinch bolts on the whole steering system. And you can see why the gun isn't necessarily the best way to do this, because it's kind of like a crush washer on a spark plug. It'll feel tight, but it doesn't actually cinch down until that clamp finishes clamping down, but it gets pretty stiff at like 20 foot-pounds. And if I were to just gun that on and not double check it, there's a chance that it could have been a little too loose. That's good. All right, let's hop in and see how the steering feels. That's way better, dude. One finger steering all the way around now.